And here's a reminder of what assessment documentation might look like. When you use chat, you need to have a slide that says what you did. It's really important that when you've got a test plan, it is followed by screenshots showing that you've tested according to your plan. So I've got the 11th of October and the 6th of January with some notes on the additional iteration that I did. Planning is not directly assessed at level 1, so this is just a reminder that in an assessment, planning is going to help you to create a high quality outcome. Our next job is to set up our Today button. Our first step is to go back into bannernav.php and retrieve the file name that we're going to use to process the Today button. Then I go into Show All and go File, Save As, and call it Today. Next, I'm going to actually go into date.php and I'm going to retrieve everything for my date, including the error, copy it, and replace everything in my Today main div with the content from our date.php. And when I did this, I noticed that my else bracket was in red, and that's because it hasn't been closed. So outside of my error div, I open and close a PHP bracket, and I've put in that closing bracket that was missing. Next, scroll up to before the start of your main div, and we want to retrieve the code that we used to work out which unofficial holiday was on a given date. And I can paste it into today.php. The only change that we need to make is instead of retrieving the date from what the user entered, is we get today's date, which you can do using PHP's inbuilt date method, being sure that you format it so that it matches our database format of year-month-day. And as you can see, it's literally the 22nd of November when this video was made, and it turns out that there are no unofficial holidays today. And I can confirm that this is actually the case by checking for something on the 14th of November, which happens to be National Pickle Day, going back into what we know works, choosing 22nd of November, and we're actually not expecting any unofficial holidays today. One thing that I did notice as I was testing is I'm still echoing out the date, and we no longer need to do that. So in today.php, I'm going to remove that line of code, and we have a similar line of code in date.php, which needs to be removed as well. And the great news is that our outcome is almost complete. I've got testing for my Today query, and the last slide that I have is evidence that both my CSS and my HTML validate. In the next video, we're going to make some minor adjustments to our Today search, and at that point, we will be done.